Trump welcomes Viktor Orban to the White House while the country is falling apart. Yeah, that's where we're at. The airports are canceling flights because the government is shut down. People don't know if they can buy groceries next week. And the president is rolling out the red carpet for a guy who worships Putin and wants to keep buying Russian oil. You can't make this up. Viktor Orban flies in from Budapest, the world is burning, and Trump's like, hey man, grab a Diet Coke, let's talk about sanctions. The government is in the longest shutdown in U.S. history, and the guy responsible for it thinks hosting Hungary's mini dictator is top priority. Millions of federal workers aren't getting paid. SNAP recipients are checking their cards to see if food money is coming. But Trump's schedule says, hang with Orban, maybe call Putin next. He even told reporters, there's always a chance I'll meet with Putin. Always a chance. Yeah, there's also a chance you could meet with Congress and reopen the government, Donnie. Try that for once. And while this circus is happening, New York City just made history. Zohran Mamdani is the new mayor, the first Muslim and South Asian ever to lead the city. The guy gives a fiery speech, looks right at the camera and says, Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up. The crowd goes wild. And you know Trump, he can't handle that.
The note didn't just get torn. It got shredded like a grocery list you didn't want anyone to find. Whoopi looked straight into the lens, held up the pieces, and basically said, relax. It was a joke. You could feel the studio exhale. The crowd laughed. A couple of groans mixed in. And then that little hush you get when daytime TV decides to grow a spine. She wasn't picking a fight. She just refused to let a comedy line get treated like a court filing. And honestly, that is exactly what the room needed. Subscribe if you support Jimmy Kimmel.
The next day, he goes on TV warning the new mayor to be nice to me because he approves a lot of things. Be nice to me? What is this, middle school? This man treats democracy like it's a customer service hotline. Press 1 to compliment me, press 2 to lose funding. It's pathetic. Think about this week. We've got airports cutting flights because the FAA can't keep up. 42 million Americans wondering if their food benefits will show up, and Trump's White House is turning into the international clubhouse for strongmen. He's not running a country, he's running a fan club for authoritarian buddies. Orban, Putin, whoever tells him he looks powerful that day, he's hosting dictators while his own citizens are struggling to pay rent. That's like throwing a champagne party in a burning building. And the best part, he still acts like New York betrayed him.
Many were surprised to see Darth Renovator on 60 Minutes. You know, 1 year after suing 60 Minutes for editing an interview, Trump sits down with 60 Minutes for an edited interview. Norah O'Donnell pressed the president on a number of issues, but his message was clear. Me, good. Biden, bad.
They've seen their grocery prices go up, inflation.
No, you're wrong. They went up under Biden. This was because of Biden. We've accepted all of these people because of Biden's open border policy. I put tariffs on China, but Biden let it lapse. What Biden did to our country should never, ever be forgotten. That was Joe Biden's war, not my war. We have no inflation. Biden had inflation and he didn't have tariffs. Look what happened to our country by having Biden as the president. Our country went to hell.
Yes, it did. And you were the Uber driver who brought us there.
Cut to midweek. Jimmy Kimmel walks out to a crowd that sounds like they've been waiting to laugh for 2 days. He does the thing he's good at. Reads the posts. Gives them space to sound as silly as they are. Doesn't shout. Doesn't puff his chest. Just lets the words hang in the air long enough for the audience to go, oh, right. This is ridiculous. Then the line that stuck. This was not a good night for the president. Everything he touched was a loser. The laugh was big, but it wasn't mean. It was relieved. Like, finally, somebody said the quiet part without turning it into a lecture.
This was not a good night for the president. Everything he touched was a loser. Trump hasn't been this embarrassed since he found out there was a Donald Trump Jr. But don't worry. If you're tired of all the losing, fear not, he's got an excuse. In fact, he's got 2 of them. He wrote, Trump wasn't on the ballot and shutdown were the 2 reasons that Republicans lost elections tonight. Now, if Republicans had won and he wasn't on the ballot, would he take credit for that? Oh, yes, he definitely would, but he lost. And then he posted this. He posted, and so it begins, which was either a response to Mamdani winning the mayoral race or he just sat down on the toilet. I don't know.
let me back up. Monday on The View, Whoopi tossed a light jab about signatures and the magic of machines. It landed. A few minutes later, the producers slid her a note with a very careful clarification. You know the tone. We are not saying he did this. We just want to be super clear. She read 2 words, rolled her eyes the way your aunt does when a waiter over-explains water, and ripped the card. Not in anger in that enough already way. Her point was simple. Jokes are allowed. You don't need a lawyer present to make a wise crack. That little riff was louder than it looked.
I'm feeling, listen, there's nothing I can do about anything until I know what there is something to do something about.
Yeah.
So I am not going to give any more angst or uncomfortableness, but I will point something out. And I'm reluctant to do it, but I have to. And that is this. When we showed that piece of him with the microphone yesterday, it bothered me all day and I couldn't figure out why, and I figured it out this morning. I don't want to hear any more parents out there nervous about what their children are being taught, frightened by drag queens reading books to your kids. If what you saw him do did not disgust you enough to protect your kids, I don't want to hear from you anymore.
New York, the city that gave him everything, just elected a progressive who told him to turn the volume up. And you can tell it hurts. He can't stand that the city moved on. The guy's sitting in the White House watching coverage of Mamdani's win like an ex stalking their old flame on Instagram. Oh, she's dating progress now? She's thriving? Terrible person. Here's the thing. Every time you think Trump's hit rock bottom, he finds a new basement. Hosting Orban while the government collapses beneath him isn't strategy, it's self-parody. He's doing victory laps in front of dictators while millions of Americans are grounded, literally and financially. The planes can't take off, the paychecks can't clear, but sure, let's have a photo op with the guy who called the EU the enemy.
Everyone who works in TV knows the vibe when legal gets jumpy. Everyone who does comedy knows what it feels like when someone whispers, maybe pull that line just in case. Whoopi's move was a reset. She basically told people at home, we trust you to know the difference between a bit and a breaking news alert. The audience clapped because it felt like daytime finally gave people credit for having brains. And yeah, the 47th president did what he always does when a joke lands. He hopped online and tried to turn volume into truth.
That's what leadership looks like now. The sad truth is, this isn't even surprising anymore. We've been trained to expect dysfunction, chaos, and a fresh scandal before lunch. The President of the United States is teasing meetings with Putin like he's dropping a new mixtape. Always a chance. There's always a chance he could actually do his job too, but I wouldn't bet on it. New York, on the other hand, is showing what real democracy looks like. Mamdani's win is proof that people want energy, progress, diversity, and someone who doesn't act like every criticism is a personal betrayal.
Late night is illegal. He said, these shows are failing. He said, same playlist, new day. The funny part is that the rants always make the jokes bigger. You cannot outlaw laughter. It shows up anyway, especially when you hand the monologue fresh material every morning. Kimmel is dangerous to this stuff because he's calm. He reads the post, lets the crowd react, and then he brings up the scoreboard. If a candidate loses after your big endorsement tour, that's not fake news. That's math.